Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to use PandaMatch in order to map out your total addressable market through finding companies that you would not otherwise find on LinkedIn or Google Maps specifically. And the way it works is very similar to Ocean.io, if you heard of Ocean.io before, but if you don't know, it basically is just a tool where you input one company and it gives you very similar companies based on keywords on the website and everything in between. So for the purpose of this demonstration, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste the website, and in this case, it's this company which is basically like an investment app called Monorail, and it's a client of one of my current customers. So over here, I'm going to input it into the domains. I'll make sure to clear it up so it just says the website and press enter. At that moment in time, we also want to insert any keywords that we're looking for. So in this case, I'm going to use invest as a keyword just to make sure that it has a maximum compatibility with the kind of lookalikes that we're looking for. Now, on top of that, I'm going to add a minimum similarity, which in most cases I'll put as 70%, and this is on a percentage basis, and it says over here, it's 0 to 99, right? So maximum results, I'm going to select, let's say 25, because I don't want to waste too many credits for the purpose of this demo. So let's just select, well, we can't do less than 100, so let's do 100. You can select an industry as well. You can exclude certain companies if you don't want to include them. You can include the company location, which is really useful in this case. So I'm just going US, and you can basically just go on and on and on. And the beauty of this platform, you get, I think, a couple, like at the very least, like 1,000 credits or so for free as you try it out. So I would really recommend you demoing it, because worst case, you can just map out your total addressable market for free. And then footprint score, this is basically how active a company is. How active their social media is and how active they are on certain channels. So 800 is basically the most active companies like Coca-Cola or something, and then 0 is basically someone like like literally like a brick and mortar business that doesn't know that Facebook exists, right? So I would suggest starting with probably about 0, like let's say 25, and then maximum score of, in my case, I'll just do maybe 150, just to stay in that zone. And you can have a bunch of extra filters as well on top of that, like the language of the website, which will be helpful if you're trying to target, like, I don't know, Spanish speaking lawyer, like, I don't know, like legal firms in the US. That could be handy. You can also choose the start date. So this is really cool if you want to basically just target for like web design, for example, some companies that have just recently launch their website, so that you can then reach out to them and say, like, hey, noticed you recently built your website. We offer this graphic design, or we are this graphic design agency, and we have a couple of tips based on your website landing page of how you could improve it. And then you can pitch your service, because the chances are when businesses just get started, they don't spend too much on graphic design, right? So this is basically that. And then you can also choose over here. In this case, like, you can just tick the LinkedIn box to make sure that every company that comes up in the search will actually have a LinkedIn profile, because you can then enrich and find the people from that kind of company. So straight away, I'm going to search for 100 records, and voila, it should start returning some results, more or less now. So this is my total addressable market in this case. And guess what? That means that I have over 7,000 companies that I can reach out to and say, hey, we already work with Monorail, who's a similar company in the investment space, and we did this cool thing for them. Curious, is that something that you want to do yourself? On top of that, you have the public emails over here. So, for example, over here it says like help desk, care, and so on. And I would not recommend using those. But for the time being, you can then export them straight into Clay. And the way you would do that, I guess, is by clicking that and then entering the webhook URL. Now, inside of Clay, you'll basically click on Create New Table, and you can basically select straight away Monitor Webhook and New Blank Table, and voila, you will basically have straight away a webhook that arrives here. And straight away, if I go back to the page here, when I click on Export, Send to Clay, I will copy and paste the webhook that we just got, and we will send it automatically to the webhook. So it should be arriving any second now, and you can start seeing it populate. Right, and straight away, this is all the information that we pick up, including the company description and so on. And you can use AI to analyze the description and personalize the first line. And then you can use the LinkedIn profile for their LinkedIn profile here in order to then enrich the company based on that, right? So in a nutshell, this is the way you would use PandaMatch for this. And I would recommend you just perform a couple of searches. You understand what your total addressable market is. And then based on that, you go and calculate your sending volumes. Now, if you have any questions on that, do let me know. This is a really cool tool. And for those of you that don't know, there is also another tool called Ocean.io, which which basically is like a very similar tool to that as well. But Ocean.io is really expensive as opposed to with PandaMatch. I think it starts in like $20 a month or something. So I'm sure you can afford it if you can afford the Clay course, right? Now, if you watch this far, let's be real. The chances are you really want to get better at lead generation, you love the idea of using Clay, and you understand that it's an absolute game changer when it comes to sending personalized emails at scale without hiring an army of sales reps to do that. If you're interested in how to learn Clay in under 3 hours, all you have to do is click on the button which says Learn Clay, join my course on my LinkedIn profile, and you should be taken to a page which looks something like this, where the claim is quite simple. You will learn Clay in under 3 hours or you get your money back. And the course only costs £100, which in my opinion is super affordable given a 30-day money back guarantee promise. And on top of that, we're going to save you over $300 a month at the very least in recurring costs inside of Clay, simply through the tips and tricks that we teach you about how to be as cost efficient inside of Clay as possible. Now, if you're interested in this in any way, shape, or form, by all means, just watch the video which says Clay course structure inside of this page, which you can find by clicking on my profile and clicking Learn Clay, join my course. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions in the meantime, feel free to direct message me. And I'm looking forward to seeing you on my waitlist, hopefully. All the best.